So Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis are at each other's throats, and it's getting personal. It all started with a little jab from Crawford, but Tank didn't just clap back, he went for the knockout. We're talking savage disses, accusations of chasing paychecks over legacy, and a whole lot more. And at the center of it all, Crawford's highly anticipated and highly controversial fight against Canelo Alvarez. Is Crawford really chasing greatness, or is Tank right about him taking the easy road to a big payday? Let's break it down.
Two Ferraris ready. What you think about that? Oh, Turkey said he got your 2 Ferraris ready. I need 3 now.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a one-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on, bro. Ram got to fight somewhere else and prove himself. And then, like, you know how they got UFC and like the underground shit? You got to fight on the underground shit and then get that.
You got to go to the G League.
You have an idea what your...
Let's set the stage. Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have been trading some serious shots on social media. Crawford threw the first punch by reminding Tank he wasn't invited to Turki Al-Sheikh's London Bash for the Ring Awards. Savage, right?
What are you doing next?
We want financials.
Tell him we going for Canelo next.
Yes. Let's go. Canelo, come on.
You heard it from him.
We are ready.
Just put me in the game. Just put me in the game. Canelo Crawford, the biggest fight in boxing. Get ready for the main event, y'all.
But Tank wasn't about to stay silent. He fired back, questioning Crawford's motivations for his upcoming fight against Canelo Alvarez. So, what's the deal with Crawford's move to challenge Canelo? According to Tank, this isn't about legacy or greatness. It's about that retirement money. Crawford's been talking about chasing greatness by moving up to 168 pounds, but Tank calls it out as pure double talk. He believes Crawford's skipping the hard work, fighting top contenders, and going straight for the big payday. Now, let's be real. Crawford wouldn't even be in the conversation for a Canelo fight without some serious help. Turki Al-Sheikh set this whole thing up, giving Crawford a straight shot at Canelo's titles without earning it the hard way.
Tonight, Terence Crawford was with Turki Al-Sheikh at the other event across town. Put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turki Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
No comments.
Tank's got a point. If Crawford was truly chasing greatness, he'd be fighting the Sharks in the 168-pound division first.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just,
Oh man, you will whoop his ass. Like yes, that. Man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Magomedov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
Hear me out. Imagine Crawford facing off against the likes of David Morrell, David Benavidez, or Christian Mbili. These guys are straight-up killers. The consensus? Crawford probably wouldn't last long. Instead of earning his stripes, Crawford's taking what some are calling the silver platter route, courtesy of Turkey.
Bud Crawford, just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlook any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this, and then we'll see.
And here's where Tank really digs in. He's not just calling out Crawford's motives. He's questioning his courage. In Tank's eyes, this fight is less about boxing and more about entertainment. Circus boxing, if you will. He compares it to those wild matchups like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fighting MMA stars. Fun to watch? Sure. But sporting value? Questionable. Get this, Tank Davis isn't just throwing shade for the sake of it. He's got some deep thoughts on the state of boxing. According to Tank, all this talk of legacy fights and chasing greatness is just a smokescreen for what's really happening. Boxing is turning into a cash grab. He believes these big-name matchups, like Crawford versus Canelo, are more about stacking paychecks than respecting the sport's roots.
About Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
Could he get it in the future?
Too little.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
So, okay. What about, everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jermell. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight, or?
What, 168? I ain't going up there.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right?
If he fighting at 168.
And honestly, he's over it. Tank's been vocal about how this corruption is dragging boxing down, turning it into a circus, and it's part of why he's ready to hang up his gloves for good.
25 is at the next year. I'm out of it.
After our second fight.
You're out of it?
Yeah.
Care to elaborate on that?
Out of the sport.
After our second fight. Nah, no, I'm gonna win, bro.
Nah, I could tell you my fights.
Yeah, you heard that right. Tank's been teasing retirement for a while now. He's made it clear that his goal is to make as much money as possible before stepping away from the ring.
Are you retiring?
With trash.
What changed?
What made this shit trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
I'm out of it.
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like, the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford and or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might be gaining the love for it though? You never know. Like like say you got a squawk today.
And after years of dominating with his aggressive style, he's looking forward to shifting gears and focusing more on his family life.
That's why I don't want to box no more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry, you know what I mean? Because I have two daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer, you know what I mean? Be more humble and things like that.
But don't get it twisted. He's not leaving without making a statement. Tank's got one more fight lined up against Lamont Roach on March 1st, 2025 at the Barclays Center, and it's shaping up to be a solid matchup.
Back first. They talking, but you know how it's gonna get. You know how it's gonna get. A real machine. You know how it's gonna get. A real one.
And I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Yeah,
now watch this.
They gonna
now
be
watch.
There. They gonna be
now
there.
watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago when you said that?
You know how when they told you say how like I posed for Lomachenko, right? Mm-hmm. And like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like when he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Is that all it takes for you? Is that all it takes? Just a little comment?
Nah, but that's what I want though. I don't want you to fight me like you saying you're going out.
It always go like this. It always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like you going out.
But here's the real kicker. Tank's also in talks for another epic showdown with Keyshawn Davis.
I would prefer Tank Davis, the top guy. I would go for the top guy. If I could choose, I would choose Tank Davis. I would knock Tank short out. Tank is a great fighter. Hats off to Tank. I'm not even gonna just do all that. Like, Tank is a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody knows that he got the power, he got the skill and ability. He's patient. You know what I'm saying? But I know who I am. That little short can't touch me. And I'm coming with that same shit he coming with, and he know that. His coach Kenny, you know, got a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? Tells him go fight the from Cuba. No, nigga, I'm gonna fight Tank. Stop mentioning other people when I mention your fight. What you talking about, boy? Like, don't play with me, bro. Y'all know how I'm coming. Tank, if you wanna fight, send me a contract, bro. Tank, you know.
If everything falls into place, that fight could be the perfect way for him to bow out with a bang.
Hey, a world title. But also, we gonna come back to Norfolk, man, so y'all don't forget about me. Y'all keep supporting DB3. But a world title definitely gonna be next 2025. We got big plans for everybody in the boxing world. Hey, Gervonta, knock, knock.
You've been on that all week. Listen.
Imagine Tank going out on top, proving that he's still one of the best in the game, all while throwing one last middle finger to the so-called corruption in boxing. It's a fitting end for a fighter who's never been shy about speaking his mind or making bold moves. And honestly, we're here for it.
For you, though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with, my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. This is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one with me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they writing me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small, or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions will be answered.
Now let's talk about Terence Crawford's legacy, because this circus fight with Canelo is putting everything on the line. Crawford's got an undefeated record, 41-0, with 31 knockouts, and he's easily one of the most skilled fighters of his generation. His ability to adapt, his precision, his power, it's all made him a force to be reckoned with.
If it isn't Canelo next year, are you done from the sport, Terence?
I wouldn't say that. Right now, I'm just weighing out my options and looking for the best opportunities and options for Terence Crawford in my career. Everybody got answers that need to be answered, you know, and the only way they can be answered is if me and Canelo is in the ring and we fight. So if that fight does happen, then everybody answers that and questions and do's and don'ts will be answered.
But here's the catch. By stepping up to face Canelo at 168 pounds, he's risking it all. One loss, and that spotless record could go down the drain, tarnishing the legacy he's built over years of hard work.
My good friend, my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better, you know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't count him out, you know what I'm saying?
And let's be real, this isn't just about winning or losing. Even if Crawford somehow pulls off a victory, a lot of boxing fans and pundits are already questioning the legitimacy of it. The weight difference is massive, and many feel that a win in this scenario doesn't carry the same weight as it would if Crawford had earned his shot by fighting his way through the division.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so guess we could see it next.
Instead, it feels like he's taking a shortcut for a fat paycheck. And that's where the real damage to his legacy comes in. So, what's the reward here? A big bag of cash, sure, but at what cost? Is he risking his legacy for a paycheck? Tank thinks so. If Crawford loses, it could tarnish his reputation. If he wins, some might still question the legitimacy of the victory, given the way he got the fight.
The likelihood of a fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and you're gonna know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp?
Huh?
When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp. Training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February or March, yeah.
In the end, It's a risky gamble, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Now, let's talk about what the fans are saying, because the reactions to this whole Crawford versus Canelo fiasco are wild. A lot of people are siding with Tank on this one, calling it a straight-up circus fight that nobody really wants to see. They're comparing it to that whole Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul nonsense, saying it's just another cash grab with zero sporting value. Fans are flooding social media with comments like, "This ain't greatness, it's just a money fight," and dropping hashtags like Trashyo Circus Boxing and Shaw Cash Over Legacy. The general vibe: people are disappointed and think this fight is more about entertainment than actual competition.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So,
But not everyone's hating on it. Some fans are just hyped to see Crawford back in the ring, especially after his huge win against Errol Spence. For them, it's less about the weight class and more about seeing Crawford take on another big name. They're like, yeah, it's a weird matchup, but at least we're getting some action, with hashtags like War Crawford vs Canelo and her big name fight.
Canelo, Johnny Boy Boxing, Flight High. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
If the money is right, I mean...
$100 million? I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
150.
150?
This beef between Crawford and Gervonta is turning heads, and now people are starting to wonder. Could Tank actually move up in weight for one last epic bout? Let's be real, Tank has already dominated the lightweight division like few others have. He's proven himself time and time again, and with retirement looming, anything feels possible. Fans are buzzing, asking if Tank might make a bold move up in weight for a final showdown.
And saying that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out?
You know, when you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, you know, that I'm not surprised about.
But Tank would be something that, you know, he said he'll touch your chin and.
Man, everybody say, you know, what they'll do, you know, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time soon.
Imagine it, Crawford versus Gervonta. It sounds wild, but is it really that impossible? With Tank's retirement plans in the air and Crawford taking on bigger challenges, this could be the perfect storm. Tank's never been shy about taking risks. And if the payday and the hype are right, why not? We've seen crazier fights happen in the world of boxing. Plus, with both fighters being at the top of their game, this matchup would be a must-see event.
And saying that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out?
You know, when you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, you know, that I'm not surprised about.
But Tank would be something that, you know, he said he'll touch your chin and.
Man, everybody say, you know, what they'll do, you know, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 to face me no time soon.
The idea of Tank stepping up to face Crawford is gaining traction. And with the way things are going, you could see any fight pop up on your screen. Boxing's unpredictable like that, and this beef could be the spark for something massive. So, there you have it. Terence Crawford's move to fight Canelo has sparked a firestorm in the fight world, and Gervonta Davis isn't holding back. Is Crawford chasing greatness or just a big payday? The debate rages on. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more boxing drama.